Researchers are testing a vaccine for children under 12, including babies as young as 6 months old. Moderna has announced that study. Parents have a lot of questions about a potential vaccine for children. We want to bring in NBC News senior medical correspondent, Dr. John Torres. Thanks for the time, Dr. John.
You bet, Cheryl. Glad to be here.
So under 18 accounts for about 24% of the population, so really a key to slowing and ending the pandemic. How important do you think these new trials focusing on children's vaccines are?
And Cheryl, you're right on two different counts. One is making sure that children eventually get the vaccine, because that's a big part of getting the pandemic under control. But more importantly is that second point of making sure they get it safely, and that we understand that the vaccine is very effective in them. And the one thing we learned in medical school from early on days is that you can't treat children as young adults. So in other words, you can't just take the adult vaccine, the adult dosing, and give it to children, because they might react differently. Their immune systems are different, their side effect profiles are different. So what Moderna is doing is splitting it up basically. They're already testing 12 to 17-year-olds. Now they're going to be testing 2 to 12-year-olds, and then push it down to 6-month and 2-year-olds. The main thing they want to do here is making sure they have the dosing right, because it might not be as strong a dose as adults get. And make sure they have the intervals right. They want to make sure it's safe and effective. And the way they do that is first make sure it's safe and effective in adults, which they have already shown, and then start working on the age groups of children as they go down. The goal being to hopefully get them that vaccine as soon as we can, to help them not only stay safe, but help us get the pandemic over with, Cheryl.
Yeah, it's like dosing for any medicine for children. It's so much by not just age, but by body weight. What do you think the keys will be that they're looking for in those different trials?
And that's exactly what they'll be looking for, Cheryl, is they're going to look at the older children, again, the 12 to 17-year-olds. They've already started that study, and they're going to look to see what the dosings are for them. More than likely, they're close to adult dosings, and the side effects they might have off of that, and how effective it is. And then they'll start working on the 2 to 11-year-olds, make sure the same thing. They'll probably drop the dosing down. And then the 6-month to 2-year-olds, that's the one that they really have to be careful with. And so they'll get to that point once they get through the other ones, just to make sure, again, that they get the dosing right. And like you mentioned, it's not just age, but it's weight, it's their health status, their immune system status, all those things they have to take in consideration. So they're going to be very safe while they're doing the trials, but they're also going to look at all the data to make sure that vaccine is safe for children as time goes on. And the goal is, especially for the older children, high school, middle school, to get them vaccinated this summer so they can get back to school in the fall safely. And then the younger children more in the winter, springtime, more in the fall, spring, or winter time. That way, hopefully, we can get everybody vaccinated at that point and then get this pandemic under control, Cheryl.
Dr. John Torres, thanks so much. We'll see you again tonight on Nightly News at 6:30.